Hi everyone, hope we're doing alright. Just like most people, I have just finished the second season of Wednesday. Now, I didn't watch the first season when it first came out. My boyfriend was the one who introduced me to the series and kind of sat me down and made me watch it. The stylist had so many cute crochet pieces that one, I wish I was the one that created those, but two, inspired me to make something kind of Wednesday inspired. After thinking a little bit, I decided that I wanted to make a pair of fingerless gloves, specifically inspired by a pair of cuffs, and I believe it was a collar, which was this kind of like chunkier, lacy Victorian vibe. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy. Let me know if you want me to recreate any of the Wednesday pieces kind of exactly and make a tutorial for an exact replica, because there's definitely not a shortage of pieces from Wednesday that I want to make, especially in season 2. Let me know in the comments below about that. What you'll need to create your own pair of fingerless gloves is around 50 grams of yarn. I'm using the Cider Replay, which is a cotton and acrylic blend, and it is a double knit. For this yarn weight, I'm going to be using a 3mm hook. You will also need a needle for ends and sewing. Then to create the lace details and appliques, I use this vintage mercerised cotton and a 1mm hook. We're going to start off by creating the main portion of our gloves. First off, we want to start with the chain length, and you want this chain length to be the length of how long you want these gloves to be. If you imagine, our gloves are probably going to start somewhere around here, and then you can either end them around your wrist, or even you can create a longer pair that covers a little bit more. I'm probably going to aim to go somewhere around this portion here, as I don't want them to be too long, but I do want them to cover my wrists. As always, we're going to start off with a slip knot, and with this pattern you don't have to stick to a certain amount of chains, you just want to build up the length of how long you want your glove to be. So I've built up a length of 35 chains. I can see that my glove at this point is probably going to end around here. You want to be quite generous with this measurement because we're going to be building up rows going around our hand, so the height of our glove is going to slightly shrink when we're wearing them. I'm pretty happy with 35 stitches. I'm going to add one extra chain to act as a turning chain. Skipping that turning chain that we've just added, I'm going to work in a half double crochet into the next available chain. I'll be working into the back bump of this chain row, even though it really doesn't matter because we'll be sewing this together. You want to do one half double crochet into each one of the chain stitches. By the end of this row, I should have a total of 35 half double crochets. I'm working in my final half double crochet, and you might just want to double check that you're happy with this length. We're ready to move on to our next row. If you wanted to, you could just do normal half double crochets. I want to have a little bit of a ribbed effect, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one and turn my work, and I'm going to be working my next half double crochet into the back loop of my final half double crochet of the row before. Normally I would put my hook underneath both of these two loops and it kind of creates a little V, but what I'm going to do instead is miss that first loop and just enter the one loop at the back. I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook just through one loop, to then do my half double crochet. I'm just going to be doing one into each stitch, so I should be doing 35 half double crochets into the back loop only. Feel free to go ahead and experiment with different stitches, but we're basically trying to build up a height that is tall enough to be able to wrap around this part of our hands. I will come back to you once I've reached that point. I've done a total of 26 rows, and you want to make sure the amount of rows that you do is even. How you're going to test that this is the right size is you're going to get your palm and put it like this and fold it over, and your first initial chain row and the current row you're on should be able to meet together like so, at this point. For me, this part of my hand is bigger than this part of my wrist, so that is kind of the biggest circumference that I need to worry about. If you've got a narrower hand and a larger wrist, then you might want to also consider the circumference of your wrist to make sure that this will fit. I'm pretty happy with what I've done, so I'm gonna leave a somewhat long length, cut my yarn, and just finish up my project. As I mentioned earlier, we're kind of wrapping this piece around our hand like this. What we want to do is join our first row and the current row that we're on. There's two ways you can do this. You can either pre-plan where you want your thumb hole to go and sew up until that point, or you can do what I'm gonna do and just wing it. I'm gonna get that long end. I am going to thread that through my needle, and this is the current row that I'm on. I'm actually going to get this chain row in front of me. I'm going to go kind of back and forth to keep up this back loop only kind of pattern. I am going to be going through the back loop of my current row, or I should say the last row that I've just done. Then I'm going to go through the chain row through the two loops that I haven't used when I was building up my first row of half double crochets. Pull that through, and then going down to up instead of up to down. I'm going to go through those two loops in the chain row that I didn't use, along with the back loop of my last row of half double crochets. And I'm just going to sew my piece up like this, making sure all of my stitches are lined up. I've sewn probably just over a quarter of the way up, and I've just put it on to see where I'm heading. I'm kind of putting it where I want it to be in the end. So I'm going to sew up a few more stitches and end it there before I then get this end to fasten up the top here. I am just gonna stop my sewing here for the moment. Honestly, if I need to sew up any more, I can always go back and do it, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm gonna go ahead and use this top end to finish securing the glove. I've just finished sewing it, and as you can see, there is a pretty decent sized thumb hole. If I try everything on, for me, that looks pretty good. Everything's kind of sitting where I want it to be. A few ways to upgrade this is you could create finger tubes by adding chain lengths in between here and creating rounds. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could just do that to the thumb. But for me, I want to create some form of applique and some form of lace trimming. I am going to start off with the appliques. So I am going to do a filet crochet patch on this one. I am not going to show you how to filet crochet because I have so many other videos on that. However, I'm going to be giving you guys the filet crochet grid that I'm using just so you guys can also use it. I'm going to go off camera and build up that filet crochet applique, and potentially I might play around with a few other ideas as to things I want to add on my piece. So you guys, I have finished doing that star applique, and this is what it looked like. So I just followed the grid and then did a single crochet border. My next step is obviously to attach my filet crochet piece to my fingerless glove. Now, bear with me with this. Sewing just isn't something that I'm great at, so I will show you what I'm gonna do, but I wouldn't take it as gospel, probably just kind of like a rough idea as to how you could attach the applique. But if you have a different technique that you prefer, I would probably stick with that. I'm gonna go with a pretty thin needle, and normally I would leave longer ends, but for some reason I forgot to do that, so I'm gonna use the same thread that I used here to sew it all together. So just threading my needle like this, I want to kind of roughly place where I want everything to go. If I put this fingerless glove on just kind of as demonstration, I probably want my piece to go pretty central, so around here. Actually, just for now, I'm gonna just quickly attach it with my needle, like so, just so I can roughly decide where everything needs to go. So now I can see this is where I wanna attach my piece. Now, I'm probably gonna start at this corner. Actually, no, I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna go through the back of my piece, like so, and put it through one of those single crochets. Pull that through, and then I'm just going to pull this piece away just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So I'm going to move along one single crochet like this and go through that stitch, so you can't really see the loop that I've created on my applique. Then I want to find a similar point kind of in this piece to go through, so I'm going to pick here. As this is my first stitch, I need to make sure that I do a knot. So you could do this through each one of your single crochets, but that's going to take really long. So what I do instead is I kind of move along around a centimetre. I want to take my needle and put it through kind of a similar point to here in the way that it's all lined up, just to make sure everything is straight. What I'm going to do is find a kind of suitable single crochet in this board to go through. Things just kind of fall naturally that the needle will go through this stitch right here. Pull that through. I move along a stitch and find a similar point in my glove to go through. So in a way, I'm almost kind of like tacking down the sides, and I'm just going to be working around my piece like this up until I reach where I started, and then I can secure everything. I've just attached the applique, and by no means have I done a perfect job. One thing that I did do, which I can always fix later if I don't like it, but I have actually included a hole kind of here, which I was thinking I could put like a lip balm in the back of here if I wanted to. I did actually end up relocating this a little bit higher up the glove, but also on the other side, because the way that I started it was to be on my left hand, but I kind of want this one on my right hand. I am going to add some form of lace edging just to add an extra detail. I'm going to be using the same thread that I used whilst creating this filet crochet grid. You could build up this trim around any point, but I'm going to do it around this point here, so the spot where my thumb goes. I am going to start off with a slip knot. Normally I would kind of start things up here or down here, but kind of to make things easier for me to explain, I'm actually going to start somewhere here. What I'm going to do is get that slip knot and pull it through the stitch that I want to start, then slip stitch into that slip knot and tighten everything. We're going to start off with a single crochet and then chain 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch into that single crochet. This bit's a little bit fiddly, but I'm just pulling a loop through the single crochet and then slip stitching, and this creates what we call a picot. I am going to do a chain length in between this one and where I want to enter my next one, so I'm going to try 3 and I'm going to skip a stitch and enter into this stitch. Now how long this chain length is going to be is how far apart these picots are. So I'll show you what I'm doing again. I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 5, and then find the single crochet and do a slip stitch into it before I then chain 3 or however many I need to kind of reach my next stitch. And you just want to go around any point that you want to add this edging to. I have just done my final picot and chain 3. I want to find that first single crochet that I did at the start of my row, which is right here, and I just need to slip stitch. Now I can cut my yarn, pull my tail through, and that creates this really cool border. And obviously things are a little bit messy because I have a lot of ends that I need to sew in, but you can kind of see what I'm going for. Now I'm going to work on that second glove. I want the glove to be the same, but to use different appliques. What I'll probably do is do that second glove and see how it compares to the first glove, and we can see if we need to add anything else. I have just finished both of my fingerless gloves, so I thought I would give you guys an update. I probably had closer over to 40 grams of yarn, then 50 grams of yarn. By the time I was finishing up my second glove, I did run out of yarn. I ended up using this grey to do my final 5 rows. And as you can see, I added the 2 appliques that I made earlier in the video. This cross applique is using my first row of the cross applique tutorial that I posted ages ago. But for my second round, I just did a single crochet border with these picots at kind of the edges of each one of the sides of the cross. I just did a small filet crochet graph just to kind of tie in the one that I used for my first glove. As you can see, I did end up adding this grey surface crochet to tie in the grey to this glove, as well as a border on top of the glove that was just a slip stitch and then 2 chains. For the 3 remaining borders, I did that picot edging, but to modify the fact that I was doing a picot in every second row of half double crochets, I did a chain 7 in between instead of the chain 3 that I used for this portion of the glove. I did do a surface crochet spiral on that second glove as well, just to kind of tie in some of what I was doing here, because obviously these are quite different. I need to do as much as I can to tie them together, but I am really happy with how these turned out. You could make a slightly plainer version than what I have done, or you could make matching pairs. There's definitely a lot you can do with these, which makes a more exciting pattern, just because you can take steps to create your own version that feels very much you. These are very inspired by Wednesday, but I did want to make them pretty modern because I wouldn't wear like Victorian lace gloves. Having this kind of like lace detail in a more modern way makes it so I can create something that I'm going to wear pretty often. Let me throw on an outfit so I can put these on and show you what they look like. Obviously, this outfit really isn't going to do an awful lot for these gloves. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you are subscribed and like and comment on this video. I sell my own patterns on Etsy and Ravelry. I'll leave the links to that in the description below. Also, make sure you are following my TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest. And if you guys create your own version, make sure you tag me on social media just so I can see your own creations. Honestly, seeing your interpretations of my tutorials is one of my favorite parts of creating tutorials. And I do want to start creating more just because I kind of forgot how much I enjoy doing them. Right, you guys, I will leave it there. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.